Namaste, beautiful gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Tyen, and if you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit that notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. Welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome to What Life Will Be Like After Lockdown. It's very interesting because I have seen so many of the channels for readers. And I asked Michael last night, why are we predicting the things that are going to happen that really hindsight being 2020? Even a person that's not even tapped into their psychic abilities as much as we are can predict that. I'm just saying, like, history tends to repeat itself. And common sense is not a flower that grows in everybody's garden, but people are at least awakening and they're seeing things a lot clearer. Before I go deeper into what I'm about to say, let me go ahead and call in some help by calling air, fire, water, earth, spirit, and ether. And I also call upon the highest of the highest of the high, which is Yod He Vahe, who will be able to give me the information that is necessary for this beautiful reading in all directions: time, space, past, present, and future. Call upon Michael, and I also call upon the Ascended Master Sonata. So it is. So, with that being said, you guys, what life will look like, and this is before I even touch the cards, after quarantine and lockdown, is a worldwide mass control. And before I get into the cards, I want to give you a history of mankind and our evolution. But I also want to talk to you about why it would be so easy because of the mass media, the fake news, fake media, the fake government, which is really not. You guys, you have to understand that the government is not a human government, but it's a government that is an invisible government with unseen forces that do not have mankind's best interests at heart. Now, for those of you that really know about Jesus and where he came from, Jesus is a Pleiadian. And the Pleiades come from the 10th dimension. How do I know that? Because I'm a Pleiadian. I have the spiritual lifeblood that Jesus has. And this is the reason why I work so very closely with the energy, because I identify with it, because that's home. That's where I came from. And this is the reason why, as a spiritual person, you need to be tapped in, tuned in, and know your frequency and your vibration and where you evolved from, where you came from. Many of us are walking this earth lost. Literally, I used to say years ago when I was in religion that the world was the walking dead. And now that we're living in this time, I was right. Because we have taken everything that has been given to us and regurgitated as face value without questioning anything, because we would be going against status quo. And we were told when we went to the synagogues and churches that it's a sin to question God. What God are we talking about? Are we talking about the God of the Bible, which is an alien, an Anunnaki? Let's get into this, because you know what? I swear to you, I am not kidding you. I have been wanting to go deep into these conversations with you guys a year ago, but I could not, because I know that in my hearts of hearts, You guys were not ready. And some of you still are not. But ready or not, here the Anunnakis are. It's not even about here they come. Here they are. They orbit and they come to Earth every 3,600 years. Now they are here. I told you guys about that in my video from last night. Now, what we are going to face after the lockdown is pretty much what we've already been facing, but magnetized by 10. It is going to be up in our faces. The truth has always been in plain sight for us to see, but we've turned a blind eye because we have been really rocked to sleep. We've been distracted with our technologies and our gadgets, with our careers, with our education, with our bad love affairs and romances. But now it is time to get spiritual. It is time for you to allow your spirit to drop into the body and get a chance to know yourself. And this is the reason why the creative gods of the universe are telling us to raise our vibrational frequency to the frequency of love instead of fear, because this is what the government and the Anunnakis live off of. This is a little bit of soul harvesting. I'm not going to get too deep into that because I feel like I need a whole separate video for the soul harvesting. Don't leave. This is the reason why I'm not in religion. This is the reason why I don't care to even argue with religious people about religion, because anybody that is in religion, when you die, you go right back on that reincarnation wheel, and the gods of the Bible, they get a chance to use your energy. They harvest your energy and they recycle your energy so they can evolve. That's why I don't worship any god. Now, when I say I don't worship any god, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that I don't have acknowledgement and reverence for the creator, source, energy, and the creative gods or the creator gods, because I do. I know my place as a human, and I know that I'm limited in the body. All right? So, this mind control has been happening ever since the beginning of man, to be quite honest. There's nothing new under the sun. Even your Bible tells you that. I find it fascinating that a lot of us have so many anomalies, and we are exposed to what is called extrasensory perceptions and then auto suggestion. So someone could just project a thought or suggest a thought, like what's being done in the media and all of the things that we've been seeing, and it can become our reality, because that's how they control the mind, through subliminal messages. And not only do they want to control our mind, but they want to control our bodies too. All right? And some of us make it very easy for them because we are susceptible. Okay? And they use what is called entrainment. What is entrainment? It's external stimulation of the brain by electromagnetic means. And this can cause the brain to be entrained or locked into a phase. And so your predominant brain waves, they can be driven or they can be pushed into a new frequency pattern by external stimulation. So what I'm saying is this: the external signal driver or impulse generator, it entrains the brain. And when that happens, it starts to override the normal frequencies, causing changes in the brain patterns and the brain waves. So these changes in the brain waves cause changes in the brain chemistry, which then causes changes in the brain output in the forms of thoughts, emotions, and physical condition. Are you driving so you can arrive? Are you allowing brain manipulation to take over? We can train our consciousness. This is what we're learning through the new age. This is the reason why religion has taught us to stay away from new age, because new age is not really new at all. If anything, it's old, it's ancient. And so it allows us to do what is called thought transference. So I can be here and I can speak to you telepathically, even though you may be in Russia. And ask yourself this question: why doesn't Russia have COVID-19? Hmm. Something to make you say, right? Well, because they're allies of China. This is a plant agenda. Was it ethical? Not by human standpoint. So they use the radio, TV, the internet, the power grid, cell systems, and any other form of electromagnetic carriers to carry this signal to influence the behaviors of the people, of the masses. They're going to continue to do the same thing after the quarantine. We're no longer watching the programming. We are the programmed with our latest values, our beliefs, and our views, and our ideals, and their ideals that are being pressed into the consciousness of the masses. By stimulating our emotions. This is what we can continue to see. This is World War III. Huh? You thought it was going to be a nuke? Think again. It's going to be a nuke, all right. A nuke of your brain, a nuke of your consciousness, self imprisonment, psychological enslavement. Why? Because when it's mental, you don't see the shackles and you don't see the chains. This is the day that I was born for. This was my mission, and I am fulfilling it. I am the voice. And there are many others other than myself. I'm not a Christ. But what we're currently looking at is definitely what the Bible considers as the Antichrist, the New World Order. I've been seeing this 18-month thing, and Michael has helped me to address this. We're not going to be on lockdown for 18 months. It's going to take 18 months for them to establish this New World Order. 1 and 8 is 9, which means completion. Okay? Completion means that they have successfully completed the Earth agenda for the Anunnakis. I'm going to get into that in just a few moments, but I want to start pulling some cards because I want to see worldwide where we as humans, where we stand. I have so many questions, as many of you, that I want to address. So as I'm doing this reading, I'm gaining insight myself. And like I said, I've searched YouTube all late last night, and I found nothing on anybody giving us any sense of direction of what is going to happen. We already know what's going on in the here and the now. We've heard enough about that. Everybody is regurgitating the same thing, saying the same thing. I wanted to know what is going to happen. So I'm going to share before I pull the card, something with you that I channeled on Thursday from a client, her son, and she told me that I can share the story with you guys. Jacob is her son, and I channeled him, and Jacob is the one that warned us about the New World Order being implemented and for us to stock up on things. This was a month ago. Back, well, no, 2 months ago now, because it was in February. It was way before March. He was telling us about the New World Order being enforced. And Jacob also told us on Thursday that there is going to be a blackout, that we are not going to have any electricity or any lights or anything like that for 3 days. Now, I know as an intuitive reader and as a clairvoyant and as a medium that sometimes on the other side they don't know the difference for far as time is concerned. So it could be pretty sketchy. Him saying 3 days could potentially be 3 weeks instead of 3 literal days. Okay, so I will let you know that it would be a good time for you to get backup generators, and if you don't have one, make one. There are plenty videos that are on YouTube that can tell you how to make a home generator. I'm telling you guys this because I am forewarning you of what is about to go down. And Jacob projected that this is going to happen at the end of April, going into the beginning of May. And then 3 weeks later, Jacob said that the coronavirus is going to disappear off of the face of the earth, like as if it never happened, in my Respucia voice. It never happened. Seriously, you guys. And the crazy thing about it, because of the masses are so used to being programmed, no one is going to even question how it dissipated and how it just disappeared and vanished in thin air like that. Back to your programming, people. And people are going to just carry on as if it never happened. But here is the kicker. This whole phenomenon will have caused for those that were asleep to be fully awakened. So now you're going to have more awakened people, and the masses are going to turn into the minority. So it's going to be just a slim, few people that are still going to be asleep, and they're going to accept things that are going to be very detrimental for their health. And vaccination is one. And in these vaccinations, they're going to be thermal chips, not microchips, thermal chips that are entered into them intravenously. And it's going to be a tracking system for the government. So let me go ahead and give you a breakdown, and I will get into the cards. You guys, please listen to this video from the beginning all the way to the end, because I do not want you to miss these important messages, because I know that it will be life-saving and it would be very paramount. So even though this video may be longer than what my other videos are, these videos are different because these videos have activation codes in them and transmissions that you need for your soul evolution. So let me take you back into the history of the secret government and the evolution of man and where we started. Now, in order for you to know where you're going, it's best for you to know what? Where you came from. This is the reason why a lot of times before we go on our spiritual journey, we really start reflecting a lot on our past, because we realize that our past shapes and it forms our future. So the secret government that I was telling you about, 300 years ago, space beings from a planet called Nibiru, known as Anunnaki, aka Wormwood people, fought a war with benevolent creator gods over ownership of Mother Earth. And so the Anunnaki won. Nibiru is the 12th planet of our solar system. So we have more than the 9 planets that we were taught at school. Okay? Anyway, I digress. Let me go back. They landed and they took control over Earth and the inhabitants that were here. So there were already humans or humanoids on the Earth before Adam and Eve were created. Let me say this again. There were already humanoids on the Earth before Adam and Eve were created. And over a period of time, our DNA was genetically modified by the Anunnaki, who are the master geneticists. So they basically reconfigured our chakra system from the 12-strand helix to a 2-strand helix. And Adam and Eve were created this way. Now, the second thing they did was to experience physical sex with humans in order to enter into incarnational cycles by procreating children through man. Now, your Bible relates to this event in Genesis chapter 6 when it speaks about the Nephilim. The Nephilim people are the Anunnakis. In Hebrew, Nephilim means gods who came down to earth. Anunnaki means gods who came down to earth. So Nibiru leaves Earth vicinity every 3,600 years, as I told you. And while they are gone, they have put a visible government, a governing team in place to run things on Earth. And this governing team or government is called the World Management Team, which is known as your government. So these groups of people who operate these team agencies are controlled by the Anunnaki and are instructed to carry out plans that benefit Nibiru and not Earth. The secret government consists of 13 permanent inner members. Recently, one defected, so now it's down to like 12 inner members. And these members recruit lieutenants for their team agencies, which control their agents' agendas on this third dimensional earthly plane. So they share their power and their money with them. That's the incentive, you guys. Some of these team agencies are the following: banks, schools, world government, including the royal family, the Vatican, the healthcare system, which is big pharma and hospitals, drug companies, secret societies, multinational corps of the world like the UN, communication and broadcasting systems such as TV, radio, news media, newspaper. The World Management Team is known today as the New World Order. So, the Anunnaki have underground bases in the Middle East and around the world where they can carry out their negative agendas, which is to create fear and chaos, which is what you're seeing right now. The Anunnaki has used this as food source: fear, anxiety, chaos, hunger, and despondency. Emotions are a source of food for them. And the archons too, but we'll talk about that at another time. So they're using these as whole food sources. So let's talk about our creative gods. Our creative gods intend to alter the frequency of the earth to that of the love vibration. Earth has moved its frequency into the fifth dimension, which is the age of light. Humanity right now can assist Earth by becoming system busters. They can conquer fear, and they can allow for the cosmic rays that is coming into the Earth, especially today. We have the Stargate that's opening at 4:44 a.m. this morning and 4:44 p.m. according to your time. So Earth is entering their bodies into this frequency and raising this frequency to one that is of love. And before we leave this earthly plane, the secret government will instigate World War III, which is happening right now as we speak. They will also give, or they'll try to enforce all humans to get a computer biochip in their bodies, which is known as 666. So they can track all humans through their system satellites. Now, for those who take the biochip, they will break out in sores all over their bodies. And this will occur because the biochip will leak radiation into your body and make your blood boil because of the electromagnetic low frequencies that are being used. These are microwave frequencies, you guys, aka known as 5G. So the government can still track you through your smart card, through your phone, through your debit card with the microchip. They don't need to insert it in your body. So just to give you a little bit backstory of Adam and Eve and their creation, the Anunnaki took 8 men, which really existed. They were called Homo erectus, and implanted in them their own image and likeness, which is known as genetic material. That's the reason why your God in the Bible says, "Let us make man into our likeness and image." So Adam was created, and then we know later Eve in that same manner. So man is the product of evolution, which is Homo erectus. We really did evolve from apes. Seriously, we did. And so what happened when they modified, we became, instead of Homo erectus, Homo sapiens. And that is the byproduct of our Anunnaki gods that created us. I recommend, if you want further explanation of what I'm telling you, to read the book by Zachariah Sitchin, The 12th Planet. That'll give you a synopsis of what I am telling you. I've read that book over and over and over again, and I know that book like the back of my hand. When I first awakened, my angels led me to that book, and that's what brought me out of religion. And I also have a good friend of mine. Her name is Vera. She's known as Vera on YouTube. Check her videos out. You will get a host of information. But anyway, long story short, you guys, the government is using mind control techniques. And they're going to continue to still use mind control techniques. But please be advised that although we have these energies that are manipulating the government is now being exposed, and it's going to take relatively 18 months for full exposure. Okay, the 18 months is not about lockdown, people. The 18 months is about how long it's going to take before the new world order is in full effect worldwide. Okay. Just know that there are no alliances between the Pleiadians and the Syrians, which is known as the Anunnaki, the New World Order. Okay? It's here. It's here now. And the Pleiadians are here to help us. The Pleiadians And that's the reason why I called on Sananda, because Sananda is a Pleiadian. He comes from the 10th realm. I come from the 10th realm. That's where I descended from. Do you know where you descended from? Do you know what star system or galaxy you came from? This is what you need to find out from your angels and your guides. Because you need to know where you come from so you know where to go back to. Right? Let's go ahead and get into the reading. I did that. I didn't mean to though. Let's see what the cards have to say. You know, sometimes it's not always about pulling cards, but just to know. Because I can pull all the cards all day long. But what would that mean if you have no clue of where you came from? How are you going to know where you're going? It doesn't work that way, right? You got to know where you came from in order to know where you're going. All right. So, what chakra are we going to need to focus on the most? Okay, this is about grounding, Earth Star. We need to nurture ourselves. We need to nurture each other. All right. Let me make sure I'm right, you guys, because this book. Yep, I was right. I am right. Let me see what the book has to say about nurturing. All right, so you called upon this card today as an invitation to create more nurturing into your life. It is easy to get caught up with the crazy hustle and bustle of the world. Isn't that the truth? Forgetting to take a little time for yourself to give back, nurture, and receive the gifts and fruits of your labor. The healing energy of nurturing is available to you now, and you are being encouraged to take a moment to honor yourself with this light. Something in your life is calling for some love and nurturing. You're completely deserving of this love and attention. Do those things for yourself that allow you to feel this loving essence. Isn't that the truth, you guys? I didn't even read it all, but that's enough said. Don't you think so? So at this moment, take out the time to nurture and love yourself. This is something that we're going to need to focus on after the lockdown. This is not going to go on forever, you guys. Trust me, it's not. There's a revolution that's taking place. You need to know that. And the way that you fight is with spiritual weaponry, is what Michael said. This is not a human battle, my dear. This is a spiritual one. And this has been going on before mankind was even involved, right? All right, Spirit, what else are we going to need to focus on after the quarantine, after the lockdown? What can we expect, or what should we do? I know one thing, and this is just intuitively speaking. We need to focus on those relationships that matter. You see that? I was just about to say that. Here we go. The sacral chakra. I am going to be doing a meditation at 4:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will be lighting a sacral chakra candle. This is what Michael the Archangel told me that I need to light because it helps to clear your sacral chakra, which is the chakra for relationships, your connections with people, not just only those in a romantic dynamic, but this could be friends and family alike. And going back into the world, we're going to need to make sure that this is cleared because we're going to have to reform alliances, rebuild our businesses. You see what I'm saying? And things of that nature. I had a lot of cards turn over that time. I only need one card that is concise and true. Spirit, give me one card that is concise and true. Another area that we're going to have to focus on after the quarantine will be meditation. This is what we're focusing on now. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the Soul Star. You guys, I am really, oh, this is the Crown. I'm getting used to this book. I got so many decks, you guys. I got over 200 decks, and there's no way in heck that I can remember everything. So we are in a position to right now where we still should be meditating, but more meditation. You can never get enough of this. At least once a day, even if it's only for 15 minutes. 15 minutes, I would say, will be minimum, because we want to make sure that we are connecting with Source. So it says that you have attracted this card into your awareness today as a sign that meditation is beneficial to you at present. Meditation is powerful, and it's a powerful tool that has been practiced since the beginning of time. Meditation allows the mind to be still and connect directly with your soul and higher self. There are many ways to meditate: visualization, breathe, hand and body poses, dance, walking, music, mantra, and many more. I meant to say breath. The powerful practice of meditation can create abundance of positive outcomes in your life, such as healing, expanded awareness, clarity, deep wisdom, insight, inner peace, relaxation, and a moment to retreat from the craziness of the world, to realign and balance yourself. Wow. So we're going to need to meditate after the quarantine so we can realign and balance ourselves. And Source is also saying so we can shift, because we are still going to be shifting after the quarantine. There are still going to be many that are going to refuse to stay asleep. There are still going to be many that are going to choose to stay asleep. And I know that doesn't even come as a surprise. Look at your family members. Even though they know something's up, if you tell them anything beyond this coronavirus and that it has something to do with the technology of 5G, they'll look at you like you're crazy. Our heart chakra, we need to nourish the inner child. Healing, sending love and light to that child, that scared little child, letting that child know that everything is going to be okay and that all things are made pretty in its own time, right? In divine timing. We have universal light. I can't remember what chakra that is. It's the solar plexus. Okay. No, it's not. Michael said it's not. Uh-oh. The soul star. Sorry, Michael. I'm glad I checked. Well, it's the same color as the solar plexus one. Anyhow, you've pulled this card today to remind you that you are always connected to an extension of powerful universal light of the cosmos. This light is what fuels your soul and gives birth to the stars. It is the all-wise, all-knowing, all-loving energy of the universe. This light is divine, unconditional love at its purest. Sometimes you can feel disconnected and shut off from the light. However, in truth, you are an extension of and made up of this energy and can never be separate. This light, love, guides, and supports you at all times. You are being encouraged to focus on this divine connection to the cosmos and do what is required to deepen and awaken fully to this universal light. Wow. So, we are going to be getting and receiving light codes today. But in the meantime, we are going to be using the universal light of Source Creator to continue healing ourselves and healing the world. And I have come to the conclusion of this reading. It is a good karma to like, share, comment, subscribe. Leave a love donation if you feel inclined to, or you can purchase a gift from my wish list on Amazon, and it will appear in the channel. And I wrap you in my love, and I cloak you with the light of Christ consciousness. And so it is, everyone. Namaste.